Hello, happy Metaphysical Monday to everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Melissa, and today's Metaphysical Monday topic is smudging. So there are I can't even count the amount of ways that you could smudge a space. Smudging, if you're unfamiliar, is where you use smoke or sprays or crystals or sound, or there's so many ways to clear a space. So what you're trying to do is change the energetic vibration of a space, of an object, of your body, your aura. There are so many reasons to smudge, so many ways to do it, and so many things that you can do it for. So today I want to talk about the three main things that you're going to see the easiest to do, the most accessible options. I know not everybody can burn something. I know my daughter lives in a dorm where they can't have candles or anything that requires heat or flame or anything like that. So, due to allergies or just not really liking smoke, there's other options out there. So today, the main three that I'm going to talk about are smoke, and then there's sprays, and there's also sound. So let's dive right in. So the first and most common thing you think of when you think of smudging a space or clearing a space is going to be sage. So I have a box with some of my sage bundles in it. This is what a regular sage bundle looks like. It's white sage. This one's clearly been used a few times. This is what it would look like. This is a big one. You can get them like half this size too, and they're super cute. Those are white sage. And then this is actually sweet grass. So there are a lot of different herbal options. This is currently wet. We'll get to why in a minute. This is a stick of palo santo, which clearly I've used. There are many different herbs and items that you can use to burn to create the smoke that you're going to use to clear the energy in the room. And different herbs have different purposes when you're smudging. Sage is most commonly known to clear negative energies or low vibrations from a room. So it's more of a getting rid of something that you don't want there. Palo Santo, these are the two that I use in the house most commonly. Palo Santo is more to put in a positive vibration, to add a vibration. And I really like Palo Santo, not just because of the smell, but because it offers a gentle, positive vibration. It's not harsh or overpowering. It's kind of subtle and gentle. But most commonly you're going to hear about sage, but there are so many other herbs that you can burn to create the smoke. Lavender, rose petals, mugwort, resins. There are a lot of different things that you can use to burn, to create smoke, to do a smoke smudging. What you would need to do a smoke smudging, and this goes for all three methods I'm going to talk about, the very first thing that you need to have is a clear intention. It's very important before you start that you know in your mind and in your heart what the purpose of your smudging is going to be. If you are trying to, if you feel a bad vibration, a bad energy or low vibration in your home, or if you're wanting to clean your body or your aura, or just yourself, you want to try and help change your own vibration, you need to have that clear intention set before and also during the smudging. So that's number one. Number two, you would need something to burn. And my string is coming off of this one. I probably burnt it. Something to burn, an herb. Do some research, find out which herbs are great for the purpose that you need them for. So if you're feeling negative and you want to clean your aura or clear your aura, cleanse your aura, your physical body is kind of ailing or something and you want to change your physical vibration, sage would be good for that as well. If your home just feels kind of dull. There's not really negative energies, but you want to lift the vibration, something uplifting, or add a peaceful vibe to your home or your bedroom even. You can burn something like the palo santo, which is holy wood, or rose petals, especially in the bedroom, rose petals. Those create, and lavender also will help create a calming vibration. Just another little thing, it's not really part of my 3 topics today, but just diffusing lavender oil also will help clean, clear, cleanse, and also uplift the energy in the room. It's not just to smell good, even though it does, if you like lavender. Not everybody does. Okay, so you have your clear intention. You have your herb of choice that you want to clear or instill the vibration in the room with. Also, you're going to need, obviously, a lighter, some source of flame to create the fire that makes the smoke. And then there's really 1, maybe 2. 1 is kind of optional. Necessary, I have this one clearly used. This is abalone shell, or some type of heat-proof container, an ashtray, some type of heat-proof container. You want to hold it underneath. While you're while it's burning, to catch any ashes, because we don't want to start a fire. It's not the intention that we have when we do this. So you want something that's heat-proof, that's not going to burn your hand, to hold underneath while you're smudging. Also, the optional part is a feather. I like to use a found feather because, being a spiritual being, we see feathers as signs, messages, something that our guide left behind to remind us of something. And if you are that kind of person, you know what that means to you. Everybody is different. Traditionally, I believe they used turkey feathers. I have some feathers back here underneath this selenite. You can use a feather to fan it. I really don't usually use a feather, but if you want to be more traditional and you have maybe 3 hands, that's why I don't usually use a feather. You don't want to blow on your smudge stick while it's smoldering, because you will blow hot ashes. Don't do that. But I usually will just kind of use the smudge stick itself to waft the smoke to where I want to direct it. And so let me back up just a little bit. That's what you will most necessary. Those are the most necessary items that you need to perform a smoke smudging. Now, as for the process, I started to say, but I'm going to start from the beginning. The process, obviously having an intention. I'm going to say that 50 million times during this video, but having a clear intention. You can either speak that intention out loud or say it in your head during the smudging. And what I like to do, and everybody has a different method. Everyone wants to start on, like the northeast corner of your house and blah, 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 blah. The way I do it is I start in the center of the room and I hold the smudge stick and I look for which direction the smoke is going, and the direction that the smoke is heading, to me, that indicates that that's where I need to start. That's where it's drawn to cleaning. So that's where maybe there's something negative that it needs to clear out first. So I will start there. Also, before you start, you want to have an open window or door for 2 reasons. An open window or door not only makes it so your house doesn't fill up with smoke and set off your smoke detectors, but also it gives a place for the negative energy to leave your house. If you have everything closed up when you're doing the smudging, it has no way out. You want to get rid of it, you need to leave a door or a window open for it to leave. That is very important. So that's how I do it. I start in the middle of the room, see which direction the smoke is drawn to, and I will start there, and I will start at the top and go to the bottom, and then I will take a few steps and just go top to bottom, and I will either, in my head, it depends. Sometimes I feel like saying it out loud maybe I feel like I need more emphasis in those cases. You can say it out loud. You can say it in your head what your intention is. Anything negative or low vibration, please leave this room. And you can repeat it. You can change it up. You don't have to, it's not an incantation where you have to get it word for word the same every single time you say it. You can change the way you say it based on, how you feel at that moment. If you feel like it's not coming through strong enough, you can say it a little bit stronger and be more aggressive. It's okay. It's your space, you're clearing it, and you can be as soft or aggressive as you want. Okay, I think I've said enough about smoke cleansing. The next thing I want to talk about is sound. So going along with the voicing your intention when you're smudging with your smoke, your voice can clear energy. All energy is a vibration. Vibrations have frequencies, and so does sound. Sound is one of the ways that you can clean the energy of an object or a room without setting off the smoke detectors or getting your resident advisor involved. So I don't have a whole lot of sound clearing devices, but I'm gonna head to Amazon as soon as I'm done filming this video. So what I have here is a singing bowl, and it comes with a mallet or a striker. I'm gonna see if I can do this without striking it. I don't like to strike it. I don't know why, I just don't. Okay, so that's what that sounds like. They come in, this is just a tiny little one. They come in huge bowls. You can get crystal singing bowls that are made out of crystal. They all work the same way. You can feel it in your hand. You can feel the vibration. I like to use this a lot on my crystals, because could you imagine having to take all of those out? And yeah, I use this mainly for my crystals. Other sound devices that can be used to change the vibration or clear the energy of an item or a room or a person is there are tuning forks, which literally is like a two-pronged fork, and you can strike it and it will create that resonance like you heard with the singing bowl. Also, there are, I think they're called tingsha bells, and that's what's next on my list. But basically they're two little bells that are strung together with a piece of leather or a cord, and you just kind of like jingle them basically, and they create also another resonating sound that will also change the vibration of the items around it. So there are many other things, and the one thing that I started with that is free for anyone is your voice. Even simply chanting an om or humming can change the vibration of a room. I don't know if you've ever tried this or if you're a music lover, but isn't it funny how just a tune of a song that you really like can change your mood? You hear a sad song when you're in a good mood, and then immediately you're feeling sad. So sound is a major thing that can be used to change the energy of something. But also be careful that you are that you're listening to positive vibes, and it's okay to kind of jump into the heavy stuff, and like I've definitely been known to enjoy a heavy metal thrash song from for a time or two in my days, and maybe in my future. But keep in mind that constantly listening to negativity, talk, sounds, music, those will lower your vibrations. So just as well as you can use sound to cleanse and clear vibrations, or change them into a positive, can also have the opposite effect. So be careful with your sounds that you choose to listen to. Okay, so one last thing that I'm going to do, we've done smoke, we've done sound, and now we're going to do sprays. And so I've started the process of making a smudge spray. And this spray, I have to adjust my leg is falling asleep. Okay, so this is why my Palo Santo is wet, because I made a little Palo Santo tea that I'm going to use to make a spray. So what I did was I took one Palo Santo stick. Oh yeah, I burned, I don't know if you can see that very well. I burned it. I made a cute little design. I think you know what it is. But what I did was I got a small pot of water. I didn't even measure it. I want to say, let's see how much water is in here. I think this is a 16-ounce container. So it was probably like a cup and a half. Depending on the size of your container and how strong you want the scent, you can use more or less water or more sticks. If you want to put 1 or 2 sticks in it, that would be perfectly okay. Excuse me. So what I did was I put the pot on the stove, I put the stick in it, and I brought it up to a boil, just like you would make tea. And as soon as it came to a boil, or actually I don't even think I let it boil completely, when it got close to boiling and just like barely bubbling, turn it off, remove it from the heat, and I left it to steep overnight. So it stayed in the pan until overnight, and I just poured that water, which totally smells like Palo Santo. The water is in here, and I'm gonna put the stick in here if it'll fit through the hole. There's my Palo Santo spray. Other items that can be used to cleanse energies and low vibrations are sea salt, Himalayan salt, which I have Himalayan salt right here too. My little heart. That one's so dark. I got this the other day. It's gorgeous. I love it. I want to lick it, but I won't. Maybe. But make sure that it's not falling down. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. So I have some small chunks, granules. They're not really granules. They're a little bit bigger than that. Of Himalayan salt, which honestly you can get at the grocery store now with the seasonings. It's all the same stuff. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. But one thing I did want to add, which I didn't do because I forgot, the full moon was not last night, but the night before. What I was going to do was use moon water to make this tea, and I didn't. You could, if you made it before the full moon, you could set the whole tea jar or cup or bowl or whatever you have the water in, you could set that in the moonlight too, so then it also absorbs the energy from the moon, just like you program your crystals under the full moon. So I'm going to put just a little palmful. This also works to clear energy. So I'm going to put that in here. All right, get in there, little guys. There we go. Give it a little bit of a... You could also add lavender oil if you want. I think it would pair nicely with the scent of the Palo Santo. Then put on the top. But really, that's all you need. Now, before spraying, set your intention. Going to use the tea from this Palo Santo and the salt crystals to infuse my room with positive energy. Okay, then get the air out of it. It's very, very lightly scented, so this works great if you have somebody that has an aversion to smoke or strong scents. Palo Santo, it smells, to me, it smells a little bit like pine and a little bit like mint. For everybody, it's kind of different, but it is a sweet, soft, gentle kind of scent. And making the tea out of it is a lot less strong, a lot more gentle than the smoke from the Palo Santo. But I love this. The salt will melt. If you put it in while the water is hot or warm, it will go a little bit faster, but eventually it will melt and infuse itself into your smudge spray. So there's your smudge spray recipe. Very, very easy. 1 Palo Santo stick, some water or moon water, a spray bottle, a little bit of Himalayan or sea salt, and optionally some lavender essential oil. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this little, not experiment, I guess it was kind of an experiment, little chat about smudging and clearing the air or the energy or the vibrations or your aura in your space. So if you have any questions, which I'm sure I left a lot of room for questions because there's just so much information. Ooh, sorry. There's just so much information out there, and so many options and so many methods that maybe we'll have to cover this topic again in another Metaphysical Monday. We'll see about that. We'll do a follow-up, I think. But thank you again so much for joining me for Metaphysical Monday. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so that you can get notified next Monday for Metaphysical Monday. And also we have our next set of zodiac tarot scopes coming out April 1st. So make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you very soon.